You're a funny guy. What do you do? You just sort of stand around and photobomb people?
No, I'm Colin with TMZ.
I know you. I'm just giving you a hard
Okay,
time.
man. We love your work, though, man.
You crack me up. Did you go to NYU?
No, my sister did. Great school.
Was you in law school there?
No, she did. She did journalism also.
Yeah,
but
it's a wonderful school.
Yeah.
So you go around bothering people?
No. Actually, we find interesting people. What did you have to eat? I know you like steak dinner. No. Come on, man. Come on.
You're the greatest living American intellectual, in my opinion. So I'm so grateful that you're here.
No. First of all, I demur from that comment about the greatest intellectual. There's no way.
All right, guys. So today we got to talk about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, whom, in my opinion, is one of the greatest Supreme Court justices ever. He's one of the greatest living intellectuals that we have in our society today. Similar to what that guy in that last video that I showed you guys, his opinion on Clarence Thomas, I hold the same opinion, even though Clarence Thomas says that that's not true. I think that it's true. And, feel free to disagree with me on that. But I really do have the utmost respect for this man, especially considering the hate and vitriol that he gets all the time from the left, simply because he's black and he thinks differently than what the Democrat Party says that black people should think. Okay, so with that being said, he is going viral because he has come out here and ripped the media along with the left-wing activist protesters who are currently trying to intimidate the Supreme Court. And one of the main reasons I want to do this video is because what he said during this recent talk, which is about racial inequality and the Supreme Court, is very profound. And it is a message that a lot of conservatives, I feel like, need to hear at this time in which we have a lot of incivility and political turmoil in this country, a time in which the Democrat Party has embraced the extremism in their party, in which they're totally fine with activists that align with them trying to intimidate the Supreme Court, trying to undermine the judicial system, using tactics that really are out of bounds in regards to trying to get their way politically. Clarence Thomas is reminding conservatives that regardless of the left doing that, we should not stoop as low as they do, and we should make sure that we stay above that. Okay, and I think that this is the perfect message for the time period that we're living in, and that is why I really want to highlight this, because again, this man, he just has the utmost respect from me. But before I get in there, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You support the Patreon, you support the PayPal, you support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel if you would like to do so. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play this clip of Clarence Thomas savaging the media and exposing the left-wing protesters for trying to undermine the Supreme Court, something that he says they've basically been trying to do for years now. Take a look.
That if we ever get a chance to do to that side what they've done to us, we should never do it.
Yeah, and we've never done it.
And we've never done it, so I just...
You would never visit Supreme Court justices' houses when things didn't go our way. We didn't throw temper tantrum. I think it is incumbent on us to always act appropriately and not to repay tit for tat. And it was always us against the elites. And that's the way it has been for the last 40 plus years I've been in public life. Us against the elites. And one of the things that you will see in my opinions is I never go after anybody personally. There's nothing insulting in there. It goes after the argument. But you're right. We are to conduct ourselves better than they conduct themselves. One of the things I say in response to the media is when they talk about, or especially early on, about the way I did my job, I said, I will absolutely leave the court when I do my job as poorly as you do yours. And that was meant as a compliment, really.
I think we've neglected this side of the room.
Oh, gosh.
All the way over here, yes.
It really is good to be me. It really is.
Very quick question then, Justice Thomas. Are conservatives living up to that mantra? This notion that you won't visit upon them the same thing, certainly not with visiting Supreme Court justices' houses, but when you observe the substance or lack thereof of the kind of prevailing culture wars, the issues that seem to be deciding America's political disputes now, the lack of civility in our politics, do you think that folks are living up to that charge to be better than their opposition?
Well, I think everybody, you can find an exception to every generalization, but I think if you look around, you will see that they have never trashed a Supreme Court nominee. The most they can point to is that Garland did not get a hearing, but he was not trashed. And it was a rule that Joe Biden introduced, by the way, which is you get no hearing in the last year of an administration. That was not the rule before then. But at any rate, with that aside, I'm sure you can quibble, but you will not see the utter destruction of a single nominee. You will also not see people going to other people's houses, attacking them at dinner at a restaurant, throwing things on them, which we had when Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed. They were throwing things. They didn't realize it was Justice Ginsburg and Justice Kagan. They were throwing stuff on the car when they left. And you hear very little of that. They were banging at the door of the Supreme Court like it was storming the Bastille or something. But you hear very little of that, and it's underreported. But no, I think, I don't think that I can tell you that everybody has been perfect, but I've seen no conduct that matched that. And perhaps you have, and if you did, I stand corrected.
Well, I haven't. That's for sure. I have not seen any conduct on the right that has went as far as the left has went over the past few years. And this is why I think Clarence Thomas's message is so important here, guys, because I know that sometimes it seems like, especially with the stories that I cover on a day-to-day basis, that, we're losing the country and that all is lost and blah, blah, blah. And that's just simply not the case. Okay, I think that there's a lot of people sometimes that feel like, well, what can we do? Right? And I want people to understand that no matter what, we cannot stoop as low as the left, and we have to handle this stuff civilly and democratically, which is what is happening, guys. Because, with the videos I cover, with the topics that I cover, what we've had, guys, is people become more informed about what's going on in this country, and they're taking a stand in the right way. For example, when it comes to what's going on in our schools, right? We would not have had this revolution in regards to parents being more informed about what's going on in schools, and subsequently then going to those school boards. And in some cases, a lot of these school boards are being taken over by conservative parents who have, awoken to, the craziness going on in schools. Well, the reason why is because we're highlighting those things, right? And the way we're handling that issue in school is to go and show up and to be participants in the democratic process. Right. And that is working. OK, we're seeing that happen across the country with these parents standing up. OK, the GOP is about to take back the House and the Senate in the midterms. Again, things go the way they're expected to go. So, guys, there's progress being made. And that is why the left is so upset right now, because they know that they're losing. Right. They're losing, and the right is not stooping to their level, trying to protest outside the homes of Supreme Court justices and to use violent means in terms of getting what they want. OK, and I hope and pray that we remain above the fray even when things don't go our way. OK, that is what I think Clarence Thomas is really trying to say here. And that is what I'm hoping for as well. And that's why I think his message is needed, again, at a time in which, again, you are seeing the left kind of get away with anything. Okay, and the reason why they're getting away with it is because, like Clarence Thomas said, the mainstream liberal media is not doing their job, right? They failed to highlight how much they were harassing Justice Kavanaugh when he was being confirmed. So much so to the point where they was out here, vandalizing the cars of the liberal Supreme Court justices, okay? And the reason why they're doing that is because the left is out of control, okay? They're like a snake with no head. They don't know what to do. Okay, they're just, you know what I'm saying? Like outraging, right? And they've destroyed themselves and they're eating themselves in the process. That is what's happening because a lot of rational, sane people in this country who might not necessarily agree with the right on a lot of things, they're looking at the extreme left and say, you know, these guys are out of touch. And the Democrat Party has been in bed with these people. I'm not necessarily sure if I can vote Democrat anymore because they've embraced this extremism, right? That is what's happening. So again, it's important for conservatives to, again, stay above it all and to conduct ourselves in a way that is civil and to understand that the best way to create change is through legislation, democracy, civility, and, you know, trying to do things the right way. Okay, which again is what Clarence Thomas is saying here. Now, the last clip that I want to play from this conference, because again, I think this is just such a cool story, is how Clarence Thomas met Thomas Sowell, who, in my opinion, is also one of the greatest intellectuals we've ever had in this country as well. And I want to play this clip on how he met Thomas Sowell because, again, I just think that this is just such an amazing story. Take a look.
So a friend of mine who knew about this, he was a quadriplegic from polio and a very close buddy of mine. He calls me up in my office and said, Clarence, I'm reading this review in the Wall Street Journal. There's another black guy like you. His name is Thomas Sowell. And it's a review of his book, Race and Economics. I'll bring it over tomorrow. And I said, no, I'll come get it. So I ran down and just like got this book review by Michael Novak. And there it was. There was Tom Sowell, and I got his book eventually, read it after some trouble, read it like a thirsty person off the desert drinking water. And there it was reconciled. Finally, somebody was telling the truth. And I went to St. Louis, and this is 76 and 78. I'm working at Monsanto. Someone says they know how passionate I am about this Thomas Sowell guy. And they mentioned that he's going to be at Washington University Law School, where he was on a panel with Professor Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And so I go over and I follow the poor man around. He was trying to leave, and I was a stalker, and I admit it. And he signed my book, he autographed my book, and looked at me kind of awkwardly. And I would see him again after I moved to Washington, when a bunch of black staffers were giving him a hard time, and I defended him. And he would come over to my office, I shared with 3 others, and we would talk. And he took my number, and I took his. Calling him, you may as well just forget the number. If he gives it to you, just burn it. You'll never get him. I learned that the hard way. Well, I can now, but back then he wouldn't, there's no way. And he called me. He took that number that I had given him, and he called me to come to the Fairmont conference. And that's how it started it. And that started a friendship that has lasted from the late 70s to the present, or maybe the 1980 to the present.
Yeah, so I just thought that it was a cool story to hear about 2 of my greatest inspirations, meeting each other, how they met each other, and the fact that they're friends, and also the fact that Clarence Thomas brought up how even back then, black people were giving people like Clarence Thomas, him, and Thomas Sowell a hard time because they think differently than how the Democrat Party says that black people should think. Okay, and just imagine, guys, being one of these people in the mainstream liberal media, talking down on Clarence Thomas simply because he has a difference of opinion, right? Saying all types of hateful things about him, okay? Calling him a Tom, calling him all these racial slurs, okay? Having this just hateful opinion of him simply because the Democrat Party told you, hey, hate the guy, right? That he's racist, okay? He's a white supremacist, even though the guy was excited to meet another black man that had the same kind of philosophy on life that he had, right? He was excited, okay? So again, the guy's clearly not anti-black. He just have a certain philosophy about black America, the same philosophy that Thomas Sowell has that, Democrats don't like, right? Liberals don't like. And therefore, they smear him because of that, okay? They're trying to say the man is an insurrectionist because his wife, had text conversations with the White House and all this other stuff. They just, they go after this man so hard, right? And when you actually listen to him talk, you listen to him speak, it's nothing like the mainstream media tries to make him out to be. He is nothing like that whatsoever, okay? So with that being said, again, if I could be half the man that Thomas Sowell and Clarence Thomas have been, half the Americans that they've been, man, I would be, satisfied, with what I've done with my life. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.